I want to update you guys on what I have going on in my garden, but one of the main things I do want to talk about is I want to talk about the Pulse Pro as well as the Pulse Hub, which you see over here on this wall. I'm Javar and this is DUSAFARMS. Thank you for tuning into the channel. And like I said, I want to speak about, my overall review on one of the things I believe to be the best thing in my garden, one of the things that helped me so much in my grow and just helped me overall step up and level up to that next level, or step up to that level. You know what I'm trying to say. It is the real deal. I never talked about it. I talked about it when it initially came out. I made videos. It would be included in videos, my grow videos. You'd see it right there. You'd be like, okay, what's that device? Oh, he talks about it. He says this is what it is. But I haven't made its own video because it deserves that much. I was like, let me make a video dedicated to the one and only Pulse Pro as well as the Pulse Hub. To talk about the Pulse Pro right here, they have the Pulse Pro and they also have the Pulse One. The Pro being the newer upgraded model with the CO2 and the PPFD, which absolutely are two of my favorite features about it. Even though I don't run CO2 as I'm in here talking right now, my levels are up about 1,000 right now. If I spend at least an hour or two out here, doing video work, my levels are gonna go up. So I try to do that a few times a day, to be honest. So they're getting some CO2, maybe it's absorbed or, it's spread and, I don't have it sealed all the way so it escapes or something like that. But it's nice to know that, I was there and I made a little impact on them, whatnot. Maybe one day I will be running CO2 fully, or I know at least I will be doing that eventually. But right now, me talking and being out here with the plants is enough for me. It's designed to measure and track all the different parameters within your grow, from your temperature, humidity, those are the common things, the entry level, about temp and humidity, but also things like CO2, as I stated, PPFD, and then you also got, what else? You got VPD, which is tracked through your temperature and humidity. You can calculate it yourself, but this does that for you. And it also checks your light. It can monitor your light schedule. Say your light isn't coming back on when it should be, or maybe you have it dimmed too low, so the percentage is down low, and you're trying to figure out what's going on. It's like, oh, my lights aren't on right now, or they're too dim or something, right? This is able to see that for you, so it can help you out. For the installation, it is pretty simple. You got the device, you got the cord, you plug it in, connect to Wi-Fi through the app, and then from there you're up and running. You can just track everything. One of the main things, actually I'll wait until the end to touch on that with the connection and everything, but we'll come back to that. The Pulse Hub is exactly what it states. It's the Pulse, but it is the hub. It is a hub for a bunch of different sensors. If you look around, I've got sensors right here. This is your temperature, humidity. I've got two of these on either side of my little setup right here for my grow. So, and then I also have the Pulse Pro kind of right there in the middle. So I'm getting a wide variety. Of course, in different pockets, it's different temperature, different humidity, but they're roughly all around the same. And I'm able to track that with things like this. And that's fairly cool, which that is not the purpose. I got the hub. That's just like entry level. If you wanted something, you can get that through the Pulse Hub, or you can get that through the Pulse Pro. The main thing I like is you have your soil and moisture meters. If I take it out right here, I can plug it back in. I need to move it to a different plant anyway. This right here is a sensor from Aklima. Aklima, I don't know how to say it, but which when you order the kit from Pulse Pro, it does come with that, but that is just a standard company that creates these devices. This sensor right here is absolutely one of the things I was like, oh, I'm doing this. It just gave me that sense of, I don't want to say a pro or anything like that, but it just made me feel like a big dog. It's like, man, I'm tracking some cool shit. I'm not saying it, I'm still figuring out and dialing things in and getting the grow portion better, but it's just a nice feeling, the results are coming. The results have definitely came from this, and, to me at least. To you guys, you may grow better than me. That is what it is. I don't care. But for myself, this thing has helped me out no matter who it's compared against. Comparing against myself, I've absolutely started crushing it because of things like this. I was able to start increasing things like my drybacks, my ppms and EC within my soil or my cocoa. It does soil, it does rock wool. You're able to put it in these different things, and then that water content, I'm able to see how moist it is in there. Like if I know these have a 50% capacity and I'm at 25%, well, guess what? We're down 50%, so we need to add another 25% to hit full capacity. So that allowed me to start incorporating things like drybacks. recently came across that. You just really building up that salt content, the EC levels within that media, and then overall increasing that osmotic pressure and really starting to put some stress on your plants in a good way that can help benefit towards the root zone really and then going. With the drawbacks, if I didn't have something like this soil meter and I was just kind of going with the flow and just, I'll dry, water when dry. We all know that method. I did a lot of water and dry, but it was just water when dry. It wasn't a dry back or anything like that. I didn't think of it like that. But when actually utilizing drawbacks, if I didn't have the meter, I would just be kind of like, oh, I don't know. My EC could be extremely high. I could be getting to the point where it's too salty in there. My plants can't take it, so they don't want anything at all. But with something like this, I'm able to make sure that it doesn't go too crazy. I can monitor those drawbacks and making sure I achieve the EC I want and getting the runoff I want, getting the flush, because I don't flush, but I do taper down. And based off my EC, I'll taper that down over the course. And if I'm not getting any runoffs, then even though I'm tapering my nutrients down, it's still building up in there. So having something like this allows me to make sure that, okay, I got my runoffs going. At the start of clone, I'll just, I'll fill it at 50%, give it like a 50% drawback, so we'll get to 25 and we'll shoot it back up to 50. But at the peak of veg and flower, we're giving 4 to 6 irrigation events a day. So that device is a game changer for me, because if not, I was honestly just watering until I got a little bit runoff 1 time, 2 times a day, and that's what it was. Now I'm able to actually track, so I'm not wasting as much water as I used to waste. The installation of the hub, it is pretty simple. It's not as simple as the Pulse Pro, but I figured out without any instructions. There are videos out there, so you are able to see exactly how to assemble this. If there aren't, I will make one for you guys, or if you want to see a specific configuration, because I also do have the pH probe and the EC probe for your reservoir, which is amazing. I'm able to dump that into my reservoir, making sure that things are what I want them at. And for the installation, all you have to do is plug this into the wall, pop the little thing, the cords into where they should go, and really just configure your sensors. It's all kind of plug and play, exactly like the Pulse Pro. Once you start connecting things, you can configure it how you want. You're going to see T connectors, single connectors. You're going to see all these connectors, and that could make you be like, what the hell? But once you actually start playing with it, it's pretty simple. As long as those meters are plugged into a cable and that cable is plugged into the device, you got it. If not, you may have to watch a video and figure out what you're doing wrong. It's fairly simple. It just looks a little overwhelming at first because there's a lot of cords and some devices that, as a new grower like myself, I'd never seen before. So I was like, I've seen them in pictures, but having them actually in front of me, I was like, whoa. These devices right here, the fact that they're able to collect all this data and help you overall improve your gardening is amazing. It can really help you, step up to that next level of what you're doing. It's not like you need them, but it is a tool to be utilized by you. And that's one thing to note. It is a tool. It's up to you to use it. The last thing I want to talk about with these, and it's what I held to the end, is the Wi-Fi. Previously, if you watched previous videos, I mentioned it, but my Wi-Fi out here, I was using a range extender out in the garage. It's a detached garage, a good distance away from the house. And that range extender was, it wasn't getting the job done. My download upload speed was terrible. It did increase the range of the Wi-Fi, just not the actual strength of it. The strength was actually stronger when you just connect to the regular Wi-Fi. But since then, I added a separate router out here, and from there we've been booming, because before, with that Wi-Fi, the Pulse Pro, the Pulse Hub, the data they were collecting, well, they were struggling. They would, Wi-Fi, if the Wi-Fi signal is so low and just so weak, they're not going to be able to do what they need to do. It's going to take them some time. They'll be tracking everything, but as far as them uploading it, you could be getting a 5-minute delay, 10-minute delay, or you just won't get that data at all. And it's not like you need a lot of Wi-Fi. What I had on that one, the range extender, was 4 to 6 millibytes per second of download and upload, which is pretty terrible. You want to, usually people are upwards of at this point in age 300 or something like that. It's probably the gamers are well above that. But for myself, with the Wi-Fi router, I'm now at 400, or no, I'm at 4 to 500, and it's amazing. You only need 34 for download and upload or whatever. So I'm well above that, and anybody with any sort of Wi-Fi within the range is going to have that. The range extender I was far away from the house. That didn't work. But I was not getting, when I would take the data from temperature, humidity, CO2, and all that, it was being tracked. But on top of that, when I would try to do a snapshot, because you have to hit the button to take a picture, for your PPFD to track that, For me, I'll do it, you know, in each corner and in the middle, and then kind of average it out. But that right there, that process, I wouldn't get it, you know, like I would have to connect the device from the range extender to the actual Wi-Fi. And if I could hold a signal strong enough, you know, they would be able to send it then, but it wasn't able to send me that screenshot of what was going on. So I was blasting plants with a lot of light without even knowing, because I'm not able to track it. But then once I switched the Wi-Fi situation, it became so much easier. You know, I was able to, like, okay, boom, instantly within seconds. And I was like, damn, before, even when the range extender was working well, I was still taking like a minute or two for me to finally get the results. When it came to from 1 to 2 minutes to get my results to 1 to 2 seconds, I was like, oh, this is amazing. Like I should have been did this. But even then, without that, that was no problem at all, even before, because just the information that I was gathering from them was enough. Um, it was just the struggle of that, getting the light. Overall, I think it is absolutely the best, hands down product I have. Another thing that I have in my garden are auto pots. If you aren't familiar, those are like a gravity fed auto watering system. Um, Pretty amazing. Check those out on either of these devices I'm mentioning, especially the Post Pro. If you want to get yourself one, you can head over onto postgrow.com and use code DUSAFARMS at checkout. Now for the growing portion, I do want to talk about overall everything. So right here we have our Diablo X's. These little things right here, or big things, whatever you want to call them, you know, they're amazing. These are the Diablo X's by HLG, which if you want to use them, you can head over to Grower's House, use the link below in the description to get them, or you can just head over to the HLG website. If you guys have been watching Cannon Cribs or just my channel, I did the side-by-side comparison with the Diablo X's versus the Diablos. You know, talk to HLG, talk to Amit and them, and we, you know, discussed that, you know, I like the X's more. I do like the X's more. So that's the one where it's like, okay, I'm gonna run those, and I'll set the Diablos. Actually, have them in a tent set up each, so I get, you know, different little. I can get a little perpetual grow going. So you guys are actually going to be seeing some of that. I'll be growing Atlas seed. I'm gonna have the 4x4 with 3 plants in it with auto pots. I'm gonna have the 5x5 with 4 pots in auto pots. I love those auto pots. And then the table will remain how it is with the irrigation setup from Floraflex. This time I'm actually, instead of using the Netafim drippers, I am using Floraflex. They drip a lot slower, which I came to love because it allows me, since I'm only able to adjust minutes for my irrigation event and not seconds. I really needed seconds with the Netafims just because of how much, you know, how many gallons per hour we were getting. But with these, with them being so slow, I'm able to, you know, run it at for those 4 to 6 irrigation events. I'm able to run it at about 5 minutes and get it to where I need to get it to. Running those, I'm actually running Atlas seeds. I'm running their Oreos and their squid beak. Oreos, I think, is just like a back cross to Oreos or something like that. Which Oreos is a strain. They think they just hit it to itself to produce seeds or whatever. I don't know if they're S1s or back crosses. But that's Oreos. And then I also have the squid beak, which is Atlas Seeds. It's their AS1, so that's like their in-house secret genetic or whatever. That's like their staple. They took that in-house genetic and they hit that to NorCal's. I believe this is like that collab they did with him. They did a few crosses to his Sunset Sherbet, which I love Sherbet. I haven't had Sunset Sherbet by like itself, which I do want to try. But I have tried a few things now with that Sunset Sherbet in it, and I love it. Like it has like it's a unique, nice flavor. And at first I didn't know, you know, and then I started picking up these as my palate, you know, build, and I tried a few things. I tried Sherb Cake, I tried Purple Sunset, and I tried one more, and they all had this similar. They were different in their own way, but they shared something similar. And I believe that's where that Sunset Sherbet came into play. So really a fan of that. So that's why I was like, you know what, let me grow out this squid beak since it has that in there. I'm already knowing if it has any sort of hint of that, I'm gonna like it, and I'm really gonna love to enjoy smoking that and having that for my personal stash. That grow will be documented in recording outside of this vlog style. It'll just be the standard seed to harvest video. I know I haven't popped a lot of seeds lately. Right now, the seeds are above soil. You know, we're letting them build up, and then we'll start filming because nobody really cares about the seedling portion. You know, we want to get to the point where we're growing and going. So those videos will be coming soon. If you want early access to those videos and all other grow videos, and you want to support the channel, you can head on over to Patreon. You don't have to. You just watching and doing whatever you do is enough. So, but back to these right here. I have some permanent marker sourced from the homie GMO. I have lemonberry. I got 2 lemonberry right here. These are amazing. They got nice thick stems. I'll have some footage for you guys. But yeah, they're growing truly amazing. The mother and everything about this plant is very easy to grow. For clones, they got some vigor to them. They're my healthiest. Like the mother's the healthiest. The clones always root the fastest. There's always 100% success rate with them. This lemon berry likes to reproduce and it likes to grow. We just ended up running some powdery mildew on the last run of it because I had a little pocket right here, not enough wind flow. But since then, I've got my two fans, which I have off, and then I have, I got some air filters going, pulling air, and then I have a standalone fan to help push air from over there behind the camera. Right now they're just all off, but that is a issue I ran into, and it was just in this little pocket, like two plants, where I did get a few samples of it from a previous grow, but I grew it in a smaller form, and it was amazing. It tasted amazing, really lemony. That fruit citrus is in there. It's really strong. But yeah, I was like, let me run this one back. I got to get some more of that for the personal stash, since I am running low on that. Having to make my last little 7 stretch. We've been slowly picking away. It's been going in the vaporizer and the bowls, to really make it stretch. And then lastly, we have 2 of those for the permanent marker. Then we have 6 of, I believe, Cap Junkie, which I grew it. I grew one plant of it. I grew it terribly. I kind of just chucked that in the animal tsunami, and I believe the lemon berry all off to the side by themselves. And I was like, you know what? This is just like these. I just watered them when dry and didn't really pay attention to them too much, because the main ones I pay attention to are the video ones and the ones out here and about, the ones that, plants like that I was just like, let me just try it out, because if I can grow it shitty and not really put too much work into it and I enjoy it, then I know when I grow it full scale, I'm really going to enjoy it. So I don't want to grow something that I have never grown before and then put it into like 12 plants worth, rather than when I could just, grow one plant of it, see if I like it, see if I need to get rid of it, and then do what I got to do. But the fact that I'm able to like do a little don't care about grow and able to like it, then I can only wait to see when I put some work into it. So that's why I was like, let me go ahead and grow that out as well. So we got 6 plants of those, also sourced from GMO. If you want to tap into those clones, you can join the Discord, link below in the description, and you can chat with a bunch of other growers and grow what I grow, I guess. When it comes to any of these clones, I actually do have some. I got some right now. They'll probably be like a week or so from you seeing this video, or maybe right around the time you've seen this video, they should be ready. So join the Discord. I have a bunch of different clones that I am letting go of. I do do my thing with clones. I try to collect some, and then I try not to. I'm not going to tax the person. I may pay upwards of $1,000 for a clone, but I don't believe I should tax somebody $1,000 for a clone, because now I have the ability to sell it at a lot cheaper rate and a more affordable, because not everybody can afford that price point. So why not help the next person out and give them for a price that I would have loved to get them from. But yeah, same thing with GMO. He has a lot of amazing deals on all his clones over there. So that is these. You will see these guys. You'll see a video as these guys continue growing. Really excited about it. Really excited about that. The Cap Junkie and the permanent marker. Lemon berry, I've had it. I can't wait to have it again. But the permanent marker, I've heard nothing but amazing things about it, and I really gotta get it. Like, I have to try it. It's like they say, like what Doja say he's like, it like leaves you staying like permanently. So I was like, oh, I gotta have that. Heard a lot. I think it won like best strain of the year, or if not, placed top 3 or something like that. Won a bunch of awards. It's out there. That is the za. So I was like, let me try that. Cap Junkie is also another great one. So I wanted to grow these, and I want to smoke them and try them, and that's just what I'm all about. I just grow weed, I smoke weed, and I do this. I show you guys me growing and smoking weed. Nothing crazy about it, but I do appreciate you guys so much for watching my videos and tuning in today and tomorrow and every other day that you're going to tune in. I appreciate you so much. I probably already said that. Until next time, peace.